Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the Core Essentials Battle Belt. So I got to give a quick shout out to Core Essentials just because they sent me the product. It was really nice of them to do. I greatly appreciate it when people send me products to do a review. Look, I've been sitting on this thing for about 2.5, 3 months, so they're probably like, where's the review? But I'm not just going to throw up a review to people if I haven't tested out thoroughly. And that's what I've been doing. I've been training with this belt for probably like give or take 4 days a week for the last 2.5 months. I really got to know the product, and that's what people deserve with reviews is like true feedback, not just because someone sent them something free, right? Like, so I'm gonna break this belt down for you guys a little more, and we're gonna go through the pros and cons. All right, so first we're gonna talk about the inner belt. Yes, this is a two-piece system. I'm a huge fan of two-piece systems, not just Core Essential, but every belt I get is going to be a two-piece. Like I think uh, it sticks to your body the best, it moves with you the best, and some people don't like it just because it's not quick to put on, things like that, like whatever. Uh, Personal preference is what I'm going with. All right, so I'm glad that they went with this. Uh, when you get this in the box, real quick, like I'm not going to show you all the steps of how to put it to your body, things like that, and like cut it. But it does come 24 to 48 inches, and that allows you to cut it down and customize it to yourself. All right, there's a ton of videos out there to show you that. This is just pros and cons videos. Okay, so inner belt, best inner belt I've ever used throughout. Talking Ronin, talking other belt systems. Best one I've used. It's very rigid. It's very flexible and durable. Like I can't fold this belt in on itself like some of the belts I've seen. So really well made inner belt. Uh, I use everyday carry belt from Core Essentials, um, and I don't know. I lost or I couldn't find it, and I had this laying around, and I was like, well, I'm just going to use this. This mesh goes in the front. I turn it to the side, so I had the rigid part, and it worked perfect. I used the Tier 1 concealed carry holster, and the clips went right over top, fit perfectly. So this couples as a everyday carry belt. So if you're in a pinch. So we're not going to talk about this mesh piece. That's going to be later when we get the belt on. Probably one of the best features, one of the better features about this belt. But the only negative I had on the inner is this aluminum piece at the end. Okay, it just comes and when you cut it, it protects the cut part of the belt and allows you to run it through your belt loops, right? The only thing, if you don't get this on right, it like snags. It fell off one time, but I think maybe that was user error. I don't know. Like I finally crimped it down really hard, and I haven't had an issue since. But probably like my least favorite part about this inner belt. All right, uh, really well made inner. Cool. So let's move on to the outer belt. Show you guys the capabilities of that. Okay, guys. So here's my fully loaded out belt. What's really nice, I like the color. I picked Ranger Green, I think they call it, but OD Green. You can see it's fully packed out here, full med kit, Safariland duty holster. I think the belt does have a payload, if you will, but like you're never going to exceed it with the amount of stuff on here. Like I have this thing pretty much freaking packed out, and I've had no issues. So you're gonna be able to put whatever you want on this thing and be just fine. Um, so uh, you can see that with this, like it's going to be flexible and it's going to move with your body, but it's not like it's holding its shape. It's not folding in on itself, right? Like I have to like, kind of force it in, right? Like if you compare this to the Ronin, right? Like, and I'm not here to dog anybody, but like, I'd throw my belt on the ground and the belt would like fold in on itself, like all flimsy, like, and it's like it's not like a you're not saying like it's a crap product, but like you know the reason why the Core Essentials like keeps its shape is because of the technology inside the power core center, they call it. Virtually indestructible, they claim. They haven't had a broken belt come back in 3 years. I've had this thing going through a lot of stress events, and uh, hasn't it's held up perfectly, like no issues at all. We'll see a year from now, maybe we have issues, but durability right now is very high. This thing on the outside, the webbing, it does have a 500-pound weight limit, so that's pretty good, like pretty strong, right? This belt's not made for any type of climbing, nothing like that. You know, compared to a Misty Mountain Operator's belt, like their life proof rated up to 3,000 pounds. You know, like you never want to climb with just a belt. Like having the leg loops to couple that, obviously is what you want. But you know, I don't think this is Core Essentials' mission. You know, in my opinion, they just want to have a really nice range belt for everyday use without any climbing or anything like that. So like, you know, go get you a Misty if you want that capability. What I do want to see though on the outside of this belt, like maybe somewhere in front here, have a metal loop hanging off, you know, for a carabiner, or you know, simply to tie in some chem lights, or whatever. If you want to hang your gloves there, tie into a helicopter, or hook into a helicopter, right? Like, you know, put a 5 to 6, 5 to 1,000 pound weight limit on that loop, man, that'd be awesome, right? Like, uh, so maybe something to think about in the future for something like that. Um, just add to the capabilities of this belt. All right, so getting to the front here, this loop here holds the free running end. You know, I can take it or leave it. Like I like to have it, obviously, because I don't want this thing flopping out here. It'd be weird and get in the way. So I do like that they did something, but like, 3 months and this thing's already starting to kind of like fold back on itself, and like, maybe something more permanent in the future would be good to hold that free running end. And but it is what it is, right? Um, so getting into the belt buckles, these are all compatible with all their belts, and I really like the new design of these ones. Like, dude, these things are freaking serious. They're made of zinc alloy, and they're heavy, they're durable. I really like the look of them. They're sleek. Here's the latch right here. So you just undo that, and the belt comes apart. You can see like the belt comes up through the belt here. This tab has teeth. It holds the belt in, it grabs the belt, and then you have two set screws that you tighten it down. So there's like 3 points of contact. That this belt buckle is not going anywhere. And then on the other side, you have your 20 notches of play. So when you put that together, you can just hear the micro adjustments going there. Like, dude, this, like, the track system is so brilliant. I really love the idea, what they came up with there. Um, you know, you'll see the micro adjustments when we get the inner belt on, and how that plays with the mesh we talked about. So one thing to note though with the outer, uh, when you have a holster like this, where the belt has to go through the loops, you have to take off the belt buckle, unscrew it, put the holster on, and then you have to put the belt buckle on. So your holster is not going anywhere fast. It's not a problem for me, right? It's not a problem for me because I have the Safari Land where I can keep this on and I can just take this off, put a new holster on if I want. So, um, you know, like I said, not an issue for me, but for you could be, right? So just something to think about. It's not going anywhere fast. Let's go ahead, get the inner belt on, get the outer belt on, and I'm going to show you how those two work together. Okay, got the belt on. Cool. Since we've already talked about Ronin, let's compare it again, right? Or any belt that runs the Cobra belt, right? Like, we've all had this issue where um, we've got to the range, everything fits really nicely, and then like we start to sweat, and like, things starting to loosen up, like the belt doesn't fit as tight anymore, or you ate too much at lunch on the range, right? And like now, like I need this thing loose, a little looser, right? Um, it took forever, right? It always took forever to take the Cobra buckle and like kind of do all the adjustments, and you got to weave it back in, right? Where Core Essentials is, it makes it instant, right? So we got this on. You hit the latch, comes undone. Okay, so you got to have the mesh piece in the middle, in the front. right? Everything's stuck together. As I come together, I'm going to try to show this. As I tighten it, you see the mesh part kind of folding in on itself, right? So it kind of allows itself to like uh, fold in and have that play, right? It's as tight as it goes. All right, I'm good to go, right? I start running around. Things are getting, let's say it's right there. Things are getting a little loose. And all I need to do is just click down, it's tight again, right? I have all that play. I ate too much. I need it loosened up a little bit. I just undo it, good to go. I fold my thing down. Well, I did it too short, right? But I can move that if I want, right? So if I need to loosen it, I just take that off, bring it in a little closer, tighten it down, good to go, right? Undo it, loosen it, I'm good to go. Okay, so probably one of the coolest things and most convenient things that Core Essential has done with a battle belt. When you have all this other stuff on, it makes things super quick, and it's really convenient. Okay, uh, so getting into Core Essentials, right? Like I didn't even know they had a battle belt. I use their everyday carry belt, and then they asked me to, sent me the product and asked me what I thought about it. This thing is awesome. It's sick, right? Like I've already recommended it to guys on my team. A couple guys have gotten it already. It's not that expensive, and it, for what it is, I think the product needs to go. Like the price needs to go up, right? Like you know, you got a Ronin that costs $200, or like what is it, 180 plus like $20 and shipping, right? Like, but this thing is not that expensive. It's taken everything that I kind of, like I said, there's a couple things in there that I want as added capabilities, but it's like convenient things. It's like first world problems, right? Like, um, but for a battle belt, man, it's solid. For a range belt, man, like everything you want it to do. So I highly recommend this product. I'm going to continue to wear it. I'm going to continue to push, Core Essentials onto other people, just because like other like I mean they deserve a shot in this community, right? Like, um, some products just like have the name and they just hang out, right? And they don't do anything special, right? But when you push the bar and you push limits of products like Core Essentials is doing, I like they deserve to be in the conversation of like, hey man, this is what you should get. All right. But thanks for listening. I know this thing kind of went a little longer, but I don't care, man. Like I like my videos being long and like give you the best information possible. If you like it, like, comment, whatever. Hit me up if you have any questions. Stay safe out there. See you on the next one.